We are now in the presence of a Spanish football legend, Gaizka Mendieta. You played a lot in Valencia, Lazio, Middlesbrough, and Barcelona, if I have understood it correctly. Thank you for being in the interview and welcome to Byyri.
Thank you. Pleasure to be here talking to you today.
So, how have you seen this year of football in LaLiga?
Well, the year was great until we had this phenomenon, this pandemic that it's stopped completely our lives, and it took football as well from our lives. I think it's a really positive that football is back. LaLiga will be back on the 11th. And it's good news not only because football is back. I think what it represents within society. Football is a big part of most people around the world in their routines, in the way they plan and they live their lives. About football, and the fact that football is back means governments, in this case, and in particular Spanish government, is worked really hard alongside with LaLiga and other organizations in Spain in order to bring back football, which means things have been working, addressing protocols that have applied throughout these months are finally getting results. And so, yeah, in both sides, in the society as well, LaLiga is not only about football and entertainment, which is one of the biggest brands in the globe in terms of entertainment, also because it creates direct and indirect jobs in Spain, around 185,000 jobs. So that means a lot of families want to be back to work as well. So it's all good news. The ball rolls, and that's all good news.
Perfect. One question about how do you see the COVID-19 affecting players?
Well, I see, as we've seen it affects. There's no difference in human beings, people. So it affects in the same way. Can spread around within any human being, and actually there's been football players that have been through it. Now, like I said, the protocol is being put in place. So we're making sure players are clean, are safe. So the whole environment, not only within the other players, but all the staff and people that will be working in the stadiums will be safe for everyone. And with the same sadness, with the same toughness, with the same difficulties that many families. I think the spectrum of football players is very wide and is very big. People always tend to think in the top of the football players, but there's other players that live in another different conditions that not everyone else does. But at the end of the day, like I said, it's a social matter that affects the human being regardless what you do in your life.
Let's talk about your favorite team. I assume it's Valencia. Am I wrong?
No, you're right.
All right, perfect. So how do you see their chances at the moment?
Well, they know obviously where we would like to see them. I think LaLiga, the last few years, has been recognized for the competitiveness that is around. Well, the whole table, I'd say, for the champions, for the European sport relegations, and Valencia has not been, like I said, where we like to see them in the top four, fighting for Champions League every season. They're a bit far now at the moment, but I think realistically they still got chances to qualify for it. So hopefully they will do that. They won the cup last year, so I think it's good to see clubs like Valencia, and not just because I say it, clubs with such a big history and such a great players in the squad to be at the top of the table and making La Liga more exciting. And for Valencia fans as well, obviously seeing the team challenging big targets.
Yeah. So how do you see? Well, do you have any comments about Peter Lim, and where do you see the team going at the moment?
Well, my views are he's the owner and he decides how he wants to run the club. There will be people that might like it, might not like it, but from the moment, like any other company, there is an owner that makes the decisions and he puts people in places and in jobs in the club to do whatever he wants to do them. Like I said, as a Valencia fan, what I like to and what I want to is to see Valencia competing against the best teams in La Liga: Atletico Madrid, Barça, Real Madrid, Sevilla at the moment, Real Sociedad, etc. I want to see Valencia winning trophies, signing good players. Players wanted to come to the club because it's a club that it challenges trophies. So as long as he does that, I'm happy. But again, it's a company that belongs to him, and he does things his way.
Yes. So the summer is coming, and obviously there's already rumors about transfers and so on. But let's talk about your own experiences before we go to those rumor things. What made you leave Valencia in the first place?
Well, I always, as a person, as a football player, I always wanted to experience football in its whole depth. So I wanted to play in the best leagues in the world. I wanted to experience football in countries where it wasn't the main sport, because we always used to that, mainly in Europe. So I wanted to get the most out of football, and I wanted to give football the most and the best of myself. So after 10 years in Valencia, I decided maybe that was the moment for me to go to other leagues, to other countries, to challenge myself, to confront new challenges, and that's where I decided to go as well. I think it was also a good moment for the club in terms of financial obviously help, support that we were getting from the transfer of myself and other teammates that left around that year, and that was the idea behind it. It was purely a player that wants to challenge himself and wants to do things beyond. Like I said, I was 10 years in La Liga in Spain and wanted to do more things.
Yeah. So at the moment, the player power seems shifted from your time, for example. Now it seems that players have a lot of more power. How do you see these different contract situations where player and the club are, well, let's say nicely, arguing or talking about their situation? For example, Garay, the contract situation with him and so on. How do you see the player power at the moment?
No, I think players have similar power that we had then. Still a negotiation, a contract negotiation between a company and an employee. In this case, the player. There's times where everyone agrees straight away. It's very straightforward. And there's other times where things get stuck and sometimes don't even get an agreement. But I don't think, of course, the fact that nowadays with social media, I think gives, at least, I wouldn't say the power, but I'll say the opportunity to put their opinions and their words out to the public, which maybe in my time it was more difficult because I have to go through certain media, and now it's in your hands. So maybe in that way, but again, there's good things and bad things about that. At the end of the day, it's a situation where I think, it's a personal opinion, of course, things should try to be dealt as smoothly as possible and as private as possible, and as quickly as possible, because I think for the tranquility of the player and the club and the fans, knowing if certain player is going to stay or is not going to stay, I don't think it makes any good to anyone of the parts involved when things get dragging along and not finding out what's happening.
All right, perfect. I know that our time is running out, so I'll just need to give a quick question first. Who are the 5 bright spots, or what are the 5 bright spots of this season in La Liga, in your opinion?
The 5 top ones?
Yeah, well, bright spots, teams, players, whatever you have seen that are nice or good things that you've seen this year.
All right. This year, okay. We have Real Sociedad with Odegaard, of course. We have always Barça, Madrid. There's always so many things to talk about. Whether Benzema, Messi, Barça maybe a bit of struggling when it comes to score goals, which is not usual. Then relegation zone, I think it's been unbelievable in the last few years as well. I say unbelievable, exciting, of course, not to be involved, but again, it's been incredible the attention that it's got those spots. And in terms of player, again, we've seen Cazorla back. I think it's been amazing to see him back. It's a fantastic story that he's been through. A lot of talent, very young talent players coming through every year. Also, I'd say young players from abroad, Mexico, Japan. We got really talented players coming and playing La Liga, and so yeah, I think so many. 5 is not enough. Sorry.
Good. Hey, thank you so much, Gaizka Mendieta, for being in a part of the Byyri story, and I do hope you only the best in the future, and hopefully we'll meet again.
Thank you. Hopefully soon. Thanks.
Cheers.